Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Brandon Knight, Global Head of Zoom Customer Experience, Channel and Ecosystem. Brandon, thanks very much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Awesome. I'm doing great, Charlie. It's good to talk to you again, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah, really great to talk to you again. And it's been an incredible couple of years for Zoom within the customer experience and contact center space. And it's going to be excellent today to kind of delve into a little bit more about kind of what you've achieved so far and the journey ahead.
Mhm.
But maybe to start with, let's go right back to the beginning. And I think one of the most important things that Zoom did right at the beginning of its contact center journey was that it architected its solution to have kind of a cloud native foundation. Could you maybe talk a little bit to that and why that's important and how it's maybe enabled the rapid fire innovation and differentiation that Zoom has shown in the CCaaS space to this point?
Absolutely. And I think you're right. I think making that decision, getting that right in the beginning is a huge part of why we've been able to innovate so quickly, why we've been able to add. Because when you're talking a pure cloud um, product from the beginning, you're simply adding applications to it. So everything that we want to do, everything we want to adapt, we get to add. And as everyone knows, we famously add it all inside the same interface, which makes it easy for our users, easy for adoption. It also makes it easy for integrating with third parties. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good partners out there that are doing wonderful things that we'd like to be a part of and like to offer that to our customer base. So having a cloud native foundation makes it very easy to build and to integrate. And we've seen that honestly in the last couple of years.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe, I mean, you've mentioned there kind of how it's some of what it's enabled you to do.
Mhm.
But maybe the next kind of logical follow-up question to that is kind of what are some of the most kind of differentiative innovations that you've added to the platform in recent times?
I think it's going to be no secret that a great deal of our focus has been on AI and how we can incorporate it even more. Right? We have since our last conversation, we have launched our workforce engagement product. We've launched our quality management, quality assurance product. But our AI expert assist is probably I think one of the coolest and more exciting things for me because I think as we've seen AI develop, right, we saw the early stages of AI and chatbots and self-service things like that on the front end with the customer. We've seen how generative AI has taken over the conversation everywhere, not just in our industry, right? Everyone's familiar with it and trying to figure out how to use it. But I think this next stage of AI actually helping the agent deliver better service and be more efficient and get to what the customer is calling for more quickly and consistently. I'm real excited about that, seeing how it's going to help on the back end. So that's one of the latter applications that we've added that is really taken off. It's almost like the industry was waiting for it. So it's pretty exciting.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think behind that as well, am I right in saying there's like a federative AI approach that Zoom has taken, which kind of mixes and matches the use cases within an AI assistant with the kind of best placed large language models?
Yes, 100%. And it answers a really big question for a lot of enterprise level companies, which is how secure and how accurate is what we're sharing, right? Nothing
Mhm.
against open source, but when you're talking in a business environment, you need those answers to be validated. You need them to be accurate. And so a federated approach to doing generative AI, we found is the best approach for our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was just a really great approach that Zoom took because it didn't kind of while it kind of produced use cases early on, it really looked at how can I optimize those use cases before bringing those to market. So I thought that was really great that Zoom did that. But let's maybe
Yeah.
move on from AI because I'm sure we could talk about it for another.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could do a whole segment on that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But going back again to your first answer, actually, you mentioned about some of the innovation that you've kind of had with your partners, and Zoom's CCaaS partner base has kind of really exploded recently, some really great relationships. The ServiceNow one I think is particularly interesting, as alongside partnerships with Salesforce, Core
Mhm.
AI, and lots of other customer experience
Yeah.
stalwarts. But I was just wondering, kind of, which partnerships maybe are exciting you the most at the moment.
Whoa, that's cheating a little bit, right? Because I don't want to. I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
we have some great partnerships, as you said. I think the evolution of our marketplace, right? Really opening up our ISV marketplace and getting partners integrated with us, so we can deliver on that relationship to customers. But honestly, when I think about partnerships that excite me the most, I'm kind of a little partial to the channel, as you know, and our accreditations, which is partners learning how to sell our product and getting educated on how the technology works. It's actually up 600% year over year. So that's a big deal for me. That tells me that the partners are actually engaging with us. They're embracing the technology, and that innovative rocket ship that we're on, that they're taking it with us. So I think the channel community and their acceptance and of us is what excites me the most. And
Mm.
we'll continue to add third party integrated technology partners to make their experience better for their customers. But I love the way they love us, quite frankly.
Yeah, I've seen 600%. That's an incredible number.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we've touched upon the partners, and we've also touched upon some of the innovations. It would be great as well to hear about kind of the growth of the Zoom contact center customer base over the past 2 years. I don't know if you can maybe share any kind of figures about that.
Yeah, I talked about the growth of the partners. I can even tell you about the growth of the licenses. Right, the I will say that's 200% year over year. So that's a big jump for us. Something that was phenomenal for us in our fiscal Q4, which we just completed, we tripled the number of licenses we had the entire time before that. So this last quarter has been huge for us. And I think it goes back to some of the things we've talked about. We're innovating extremely fast. And I think that, and of course, the brand is superior. There isn't an elementary school kid that doesn't know who Zoom is, and what we do. So that part's easy. And again, I think we're being rewarded. Our customers are seeing that we're growing, we're adding, the relationship is good, and they're responding to that. They're responding quite nicely to it, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting because I took a look at some of those figures. It's really impressive. And
Mhm.
what kind of strikes me is maybe the Zoom contact center was first maybe geared towards the mid market, but now you're winning more and more enterprise CCaaS
Yeah,
deals, kind of 1,000 seat plus
yeah.
deals. Is it kind of the goal to keep winning those enterprises? Is that the kind of the ultimate goal for Zoom in the space?
I think it is, and I think I think it goes back to how we're winning them. I think it goes back to our original customer base, right? Because of course, if you look at our legacy products, Zoom Video, Zoom Meetings, and Webinars, of course, the companies that have those are all sizes. So of course, they include enterprise level companies, 1,000 seat companies, 5,000 seat companies, and so now they're simply learning that, oh, hey, Zoom also has this product. They have phone, they have contact center, they have workforce engagement, and because the relationship is good, that's automatically growing. I think we hit in the market, and people maybe looked at it and said, "Oh, well, it's Zoom. They're new, so maybe it's an SMB product." But I think what you're seeing from like our Major League Baseball contract, from our venture employee services, I think you're going to see more of that, and it lends itself more to the relationship we have with partners, because like just like our MLB agreement that came from our channel community, because when you're talking larger businesses, you need a consultative selling approach, and that's what partners bring to this space. So yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more. There's actually a couple in the works right now I'm excited about. So I think pretty quickly here you're going to see us add to that enterprise level customer base.
Absolutely, and there does seem to be kind of a really big opportunity for growth, especially with kind of Zoom's UCaaS market too, as well,
Yeah.
and the fact that you can have that on the same platform as your CCaaS platform is a huge differentiator too. So I'm excited to see some more of those big deals come through in the near future.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, at the start of this interview, I did kind of promise that we will kind of look ahead a little bit. So I think maybe a good final question for me to ask you, Brandon, is kind of where do you see the contact center 2 years, Zoom in the contact center space 2 years on from now?
Yeah. Well, I honestly leading it, and I'll tell you why I say that, because I think we are uniquely positioned for what we're calling the third wave. So kind of quickly, if you look at the origin of the customer experience contact center space, it was all premises based equipment, kind of clunky and stuff, high features, but not very innovative, not able to change quickly, and certainly distinguishable and disparate from the back office and from sales teams, marketing teams, and stuff like that. They function separately. And then you see the second wave, which was you saw this push for integrations. So we're integrating contact center technology with CRM technology and ERPs and back office systems, but still multiple systems. The employees are still separate, and you had to get something to communicate, in between there, and then get reports to understand what the customer was talking about. So a move in the right direction, but not cohesively operating together. We were going for a multi, channel system to an omni-channel system. The third wave of that, though, we believe is going to be a succinct unification of all the applications companies are using to address their customers and the back end support people. So more important to have a chat that works between employees, not just with the customers, and SMS, and having the contact center product and the phone product and the workforce management product, all those things integrated together, along with actionable reporting. That's the next wave, and in one place, on one cloud-based system. We think that's where everyone's going. We've hedged our bets, which is why we put everything in our interface and in our UI, and we think that's what more companies are going to try to do, because it cuts down on the confusion, the multiple systems that employees have to use. It can give you one true source of data. So that's what's exciting for me. That's what I'm most excited about, because I think that's where the industry is going, and I think we're positioned to lead the industry to that conclusion.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm sure, like AI, kind of the UI is another conversation that we can possibly talk on for an hours. But yeah, today was supposed to be a quick overview of the contact center, Zoom contact center 2 years on. I think you've done a great job of sharing some insight over that time. So thanks very much for joining me today, Brandon.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely, and also thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.